Okay, so I just want to show you a few things about Card Creator today. Number one is the Trello board that the Card Creator developers are using, and as you can see, they're working on a 2.2.2 as a hotfix for 2.2.1. Some of these issues here that they're going to work on correcting are ones that I've brought forward or submitted, and hopefully with more people testing and trying different things out, this list will expand and they'll be able to continue to develop faster and faster to fix all the little issues that we have as we use this wonderful little application. Since the last time, I have been slowly working on trying to create kind of a better card for the superpowers in the second class supers card game. When I last left, I think things looked a little different. As you can see, I'm still having the bug where it doesn't show the cards effectively. So I have to like do that wonderful little change size trick that they told me to use. So you'll see that I've changed things around a little bit. Negative alignment now shows in red and positive in green, just kind of as a quick visual indicator. I've added in kind of these halftone dots. I've also added in this gradient effect, but as you can see, or maybe you can't see, there's actually a thin gray line. That's one of the bugs that I've reported in because the PNG transparency, it looks like it has just a little bit of a line there that hopefully they can help fix. At first they thought it was the file that I gave them, but then they sent me back a PNG of their own creation, and I still have that issue, unfortunately. One of the other issues I think they need to work on is this issue here where the back is not showing, but if I go in now, now the front's not showing properly, but the back is. So hopefully they'll resolve that soon. It doesn't show up as an issue when setting up the print files. So when you're exporting a set and you look at the front and back, then it's working just fine. As you can see, I now have card art for all of the main supers. The initial idea was to have all of the negative alignment cards recolored kind of as more of a villain, and the positive alignment ones, as you can see, would be kind of this more heroic thing. I don't necessarily have the budget for that right now, so I don't know how I'm going to be able to move forward with the card art for some of this, but here and there I'm kind of getting it closer and closer. I think what's going to end up happening is that I'm going to get this template for supers to be perfect, and then copy that blueprint for some of these others and recreate these cards using the new blueprint. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like I can just apply a blueprint that already exists to these other card sets. So I'll have to recreate these cards using the new blueprints that I copy and adjust to fit these different card needs. And so I'll probably work on that soon. Another thing that I'm working on is the basic cards. So the basic cards are the cards that you start your decks with. So each player gets a couple of the Work Secret at Any Job, a couple bonus for Amazing Job Performance, and a couple of the punch cards. And that makes up their starting hand to play the game. I want to make sure that I have some kind of way to identify those cards quickly so that you can filter it out from all the others to be able to build those starting hands without needing to look through every single card in the entire deck. So I don't think this green cube thing is going to stay, but for now it actually works as a great identifier to figure out which cards are those starting hand cards. Another two cards that I really like how they've turned out, but they'll probably change a bit going forward, and that is, they are not in here anymore. Oh well, I'll have to figure that out later. The superhero and supervillain cards, which actually I think will be a very similar template to these. The difference and the issue that I'm having in trying to figure out how to work with this kind of template, this blueprint that I have, is the text, the subtext on some of these cards. So for example, you can see here that some of these cards have a long quote, some of these cards have multiple details. So this says increase health by 10 and it's a one-time use. And so I have to figure out how I'm going to lay out the blueprint to fit those different details that exist. I didn't really want to cover up too much more of the picture, but I might have to. I've tried different kind of backgrounds for this area, different kinds of fonts and typography. never really been completely happy with how it's turned out. So you can see right now there is a text box there that I can enter text into, but it's just this kind of light gray. I had a background that I was trying out earlier. Let me just try to pull that up real quickly. Yeah, here. So it's just kind of like a background that I could potentially use that has this kind of effect of being askew. I haven't matched it up yet with the background for this information box here, but the idea being, of course, that I could have some small text in there that would be white, easy to read, and still semi-transparent so you could see most of the image, and have it kind of be askew. It makes me think a little bit more of kind of the different boxes that they have in comic books with the different lines and diagonal designs. And again, as you can see, when I imported that image, it created a nice dark gray line at the top. The image that they gave me back has this white line. When I had my drop shadow in there, it had a gray line as well, just like this lower one down here. And again, I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but there's a line there. And there's a little white line there. It's only like a 1 pixel line there and like a 2 or 3 pixel line, like gray line here. At first I thought it was something that I did wrong, but apparently not, which is kind of nice. It's always nice when it's not user error. I work partly in tech support, and so whenever it's user error, I just, you know, it's not so fun to have to tell people, oh, you messed up. So I'm definitely very empathetic of those kinds of issues, and I was very quick to say it must be me when I was working with the developers. This is an earlier take, probably closer to what you saw me playing with last time, and as you can see, it has space for all the text, but the image is so constrained and so cropped that we actually lose nearly half the image in that kind of card layout, and I was hoping to avoid that as much as possible. And again, same thing here. The artist that worked on these cards is actually going to be working on a few more for me, which I'm looking forward to getting closer and closer to kind of having what I would consider at least version 1's card art. The other pieces that I need to do still would be a board design, as well as kind of a tool to track alignment. And I have no idea how I'm going to prototype, especially that tool to track alignment. Some people have said maybe just a card with a scale positive, negative 10 with like a little plastic kind of widget that you move along that scale. I would really like something a little bit more like the spinning cardboard box type thing with, if you've ever played King of Tokyo or King of New York, the health system that they use to track the health of your monster is something like what I would like to do for alignment. So yeah, that's everything that's happening kind of in Card Creator. Like I said, I'm waiting for the new version 2.2.2, which will hopefully help with some of the issues that I'm having currently. And I'm also looking forward to 2.3. One of the next things that I'm hoping to see and that I would really like to have happen, and I know it is on their list of things to do, is the ability to rotate these icons on a case-by-case basis, because as you can see, the colored in arrow points down, which is great for the negative alignment cards, but the colored arrow that's green pointing down, not so great for the positive alignment. I'd love to be able to rotate that around so that the positive arrow is at least kind of pointing in an upward direction. And like I said, that is on their list of things to do, but who knows how high it is. They have so many ideas, so many great things that they want to do, and I don't want to necessarily monopolize all their time. Over here you can see they have a whole bunch of different features and UX tweaks that they want to make, and these lists are pretty comprehensive. And not only that, if you want, and if you're interested and you have a Trello account, or you can sign up for a free Trello account, you can actually give feedback on these features, which I think is really great of the developers to kind of keep this open for their fans and friends to be able to kind of comment on. So that's really great. You can see the things that they've already done, and they haven't left a lot of communication within their tickets, which means you don't really have a good sense of when they did it, how long it took them, what kind of issues they might have come across, why they picked the solutions they picked. They must be having a lot of that communication elsewhere, but it does give you kind of a sense of what has already been done and what to kind of look for and test. And then over here you can see they have an ideas panel that they're building out. So if you have suggestions or ideas, I would definitely suggest going on the community hub on Steam under discussions, and you can go ahead and add things here for the developers to see. And so that's it for Card Creator today, and hopefully there'll be something new to show you soon. I'm going to continue to work on these cards as much as I can, using my limited graphic design skills and the wonderful images I've been given. And yeah, keep checking in. Thank you so much.